Welcome to Maple Grove as CCX Sports presents our first baseball telecast of the 2017 season, and it's a good one. Two returning state tournament teams, the Champlin Park Rebels, who started the season with an impressive 3-2 win over Minnetonka the other day, and Maple Grove Crimson making their debut here in this 2017 season. Good afternoon, I'm Jay Wilcox. A beautiful day here, one night after we had some serious snowfall that kind of made this game not a sure thing to be played, but the sun came out, wind blew a little bit, dried up the field enough to get things going, and here's the lineup for Champlin Park. Both of these teams, now I said state tournament a year ago, but a lot of new faces in the lineup for both of them, so we'll see how they progress here. Cal Hansen, the left fielder, will lead it off for Champlin Park. Zach Loven, a returning starter in center, hits second. Cole Albers, who was another returning starter and pitched them to the win over Minnetonka the other day, is their shortstop. Quinn Victoria at first base, Joey Simon at third, Max Sloven, the pitcher, will hit sixth, Ian Coltis in right field hitting seventh, Luke Brynjolfsson, the second baseman, hits eighth, and Anthony Pakula, the catcher, hits in the number 9 slot. On the hill today for Maple Grove is junior right-hander Nate Martinson, who pitched a little bit a year ago and did pretty well when he did pitch. He pitched in 5 games, 17 2/3 innings, and he was 3-0. He made one start, a 0.79 ERA in that work a year ago, and he fires a first pitch fastball over for a strike here to Cal Hansen of Champlin Park. Hansen, a bouncer down to short. Picked up there by the shortstop Thompson. Throw to first base is in time. And one gone here in the top of the first inning as handled flawlessly there by Hayden Thompson, the shortstop. And Zach Loven will be the batter now for Champlin Park. So look at the defense for Maple Grove. Again, a lot of new faces out there for them. Luke Hansen, Hayden Thompson, Jensen Erickson, and Charlie Horton. And around the infield, Curtis Haugen, Josh Tyler, Jerry Gooley. In the outfield, Jake Hansen doing the catching, and Nate Martinson on the mound for Maple Grove. A 1-0 count here. And that's a breaking ball over for a strike to Loven. And that one, fastball over for a strike. Martinson, pretty hard thrower. He's got a good variety. And a guy that they're counting on pretty heavily this year, along with obviously Bubba Horton, the Gopher signee playing over at first base. We might see him in relief today, perhaps. And Martinson gets the call here today for the Crimson. And here is a chopper toward Horton. He will pick it up and make the play himself. And Loven is out for the second out here in the top of the first. And Cole Albers will be the batter for Champlin Park. Another look at this one. Obviously, this early in the season, too, these bouncers, you got to be a little extra careful with them. The ground's probably a little bit soft after that snow rain that we had on Monday. Albers takes that pitch for a ball. Albers, a year ago, hit .274 with a .326 on base percentage and scored 16 runs, knocked in 9 for the Rebels. Takes a strike there. Off speed there, and Albers just getting a piece of that one. A ball and 2 strikes here to the Rebels shortstop and third hitter. Victoria waiting on deck if Albers can reach safely here for Champlin Park. State runner-up last year in Class 4A. 24-win season. Maple Grove 21-win season and got to the tournament as well. Lost in the consolation final. And hit pretty well out to left field. This one going back. And it is gone. Albers connecting for the Rebels. He got down in the count, but then jumped on that, offering from Martinson and drives it out to straightaway left field. And the Rebels will take a 1-0 lead. So Albers coming through in a big way for Champlin Park. Did not have a home run a season ago. Turns on this one. Wasn't sure it would have quite enough to get out, but it did. As back for a look there was the Crimson left fielder Haugen, but so Victoria steps in. He takes a first pitch strike. Fouls this one back and out of play. One-two count here to Victoria. And lifting this one down the left field line. Foul ball as Haugen over for a look. Rebels, as I said, beating Minnetonka 3-2 on Saturday. Minnetonka, a team that a lot of people are looking at as one of the favorites in the state this year. Although it was kind of an interesting game. Champlin Park, the stats that they posted online show them as having 3 hits. Corey Davis, and this one is hit well to right field. We'll get back to that in a moment. A one-hopper off the fence. Victoria digging hard for second, and he will be in with the dive. And so back-to-back extra base hits here for Champlin Park after Martinson had retired the first 2 hitters. Victoria jumping on this one. I was saying Corey Davis, the Rebels coach, said officially they should have had 0 hits really against. There were no hit by Minnetonka, but scored 3 runs. Their stats keepers did give them a couple of hits that he felt were not really hits, but Joey Simon, the third baseman, stepping in for Champlin Park as they try and build on this 1-0 lead. Runner at second base and 2 outs. And out for a little conversation here is Lewis, the catcher, with Martinson. Oh, 1 count here as Simon trying to bring a run home. And hits this ball hard into left field. That'll be a base hit, and it gets through. So any drama about whether that run would score goes away as it gets through Haugen. And hanging on at second is Simon. Victoria is in. It's 2-0 Champlin Park. Give him a single and then an error on the left fielder, allowing him to move up to second here as Haugen unable to stay down on that ball.
Yeah, like you said about the...
Greg Miller joining us here for today's game as already the Rebels jumping out to a quick 2-0 lead. Runner is going to try and advance. Here's the throw from Lewis. It is not in time, and moving up there is Simon.
That's a nice block by Lewis. That play before, the outfield's kind of rough here, just like you said about the infield this early in the year.
See, the ball didn't get terribly far away, but when you've got a nice read on the ball like that, it's Simon made it fairly easily. Max Loven hitting it down to second, and ranging over to make the play there is Erickson for the Crimson. So Loven is out 4-3, but a good first inning for Champlin Park is they get 2 runs in the inning on 3 base hits. There was 1 error and 1 left aboard. The big blow of the Albers home run, and then Victoria doubling after him. So after a half inning here, it is Champlin Park leading it by a score of 2-0, and Maple Grove will get their first at-bats of the 2017 season. They will have Hayden Thompson, the shortstop, leading it off, and then Jensen Erickson at second base. Charlie Horton, the first baseman, will hit third. Luke Hansen, the left fielder, hits fourth. And then he is followed by Jake Hansen, the designated hitter. Jerry Gooley, the right fielder, hits sixth. Nate Martinson, the pitcher, will hit 7th. Curtis Haugen in left field hitting 8th. And Josh Tyler in center hitting in the number 9 spot. And here's a look at the defensive alignment here for Champlin Park, as they've got Simon, Albers, Brynjolfsson, and Victoria in the infield. Hansen, Loven, and Coltis in the outfield. Anthony Pakula is the catcher, and the pitcher is left-hander Max Loven. And Loven didn't pitch much last year, but he did get a little bit of varsity time, just a couple innings pitched, 2 2/3 for him a year ago, 2.62 ERA, and no record. As you get a look there at the batting lineup again for the Crimson. So not the way you want to start, having a 2-spot put up against you, Greg, and they have to come up and swing the bats right away here.
Yeah, I think, first game of the season for Maple Grove, everyone's a little bit nervous coming in, but they'll settle down.
Yeah, I think it's interesting because obviously both of these teams have very good programs. They both had very good teams last year. They both have, at least one really top-level guy coming back this year. But beneath the surface, most of the rest of the lineup for both of these is brand new guys to varsity. So it's, the expectations remain high because they've had success at lower levels and things too. But at the same time, you have to see how a lot of these new guys react to being in varsity ball.
Exciting time for the new players and for everyone to get out here and play after a long winter. And, after today, it's snow all over the ground. I'm glad we're playing this game today.
Yeah, it was. We were talking earlier, a little bit of a question mark whether there'd be a game here for sure or not. I mean, if you could time lapse this field, back to last evening, I'm guessing it was a winter wonderland, at least in my area.
Only Minnesota. I once coached baseball in a snowmobile suit.
Pitch taken for a strike here, Hayden Thompson.
Yeah, it's a beautiful day now, sunny, and it's nice out.
Well, I was talking with Coach Carlson too from Maple Grove that as this fall fouled away by Thompson, that seeing how nice it ended up being, you'd be kicking yourself if you had to try to jam this one in somewhere later in the schedule and didn't get to play it today.
Yeah, you never know if they make the call early on something like this. I'm glad they didn't. I'm sure they are too, because this will be a fun game today.
Thompson gets a piece of that, fights it off. Champlin Park, like we talked about with Martinson, Champlin Park pretty excited about what Max Loven might bring to the table for them this year. It's a lefty with some good possibilities, a real calm guy. He throws a change up and he has a nice breaking ball too, and had Thompson having to dance out of the way of that one. So 1-2 count here to Hayden Thompson.
Yeah, he throws really nice and easy. Looks like he has good control, at least early here.
Swing and a miss, and Thompson down on strikes.
Changed the level of that one, brought it up high, and those are hard to lay off, especially with 2 strikes. Brought the heat there.
See that pitch up in the zone and couldn't get around on it. So Jensen Erickson will be the hitter now for Maple Grove. Looks at the first pitch up high for a ball. Erickson, limited opportunity with the varsity last year. He played in 4 games, had 3 plate appearances. So lifted out to short right field and catch made. Boy, they really had him, did not have him played very deep there, and it turned out to be the right move as Erickson, a little flare out to short right, and catch made by Coltis. And here's Charlie Horton stepping in now for Maple Grove. Very good pitcher, but also a big threat with the bat.
That's another thing. They don't really have good scouting reports at this point in the season if they have a bunch of new players, so it's hard to kind of know where to play out in the field. These guys meet again later in the year. They'll have a lot better scouting reports.
Rip and a miss there. Horton hit .407 last year and knocked in 26. Also had 14 extra base hits, including 3 home runs. So certainly a big threat with the bat as he fouls this one back. And a swing and a miss, and Loven able to strike him out. So he fans two of the first three hitters, and a 1-2-3 inning in the first. No runs, no hits, and no one left on base. After an inning full here at Maple Grove, it is 2-0 Champlin Park.
What makes your community feel like home? Is it knowing what's happening in your neighborhood? Or when people know your name? Connections make us a community. For more than 30 years, Northwest Community Television has connected citizens, neighbors, even sports fans through video. As life gets busier than ever, we will still offer you a connected community experience through CCX Media, so you can stay connected to the place you call home.
Welcome back here to Maple Grove, Champlin Park. Striking for two against that guy, Nate Martinson, and he will try and bounce back here in the second inning. It'll be the bottom third of the order coming up for Champlin Park. Ian Coltis, Luke Brynjolfsson, and Anthony Pakula will hit for the Rebels here after they got two on the board in the top of the first.
And hopefully Nate settles down a little bit. He didn't pitch poorly the first inning. A little bad luck, got an error on his left fielder, and he got behind and had to, maybe groove one more than he would have liked to Albers, and that went out of the park. So hopefully this inning he settles down a little bit. Nice heat there.
Yeah, cut and a miss as Coltis was a little late on that one. Laid off that one high and away. It's 1-2. And a called third strike. Coltis caught looking, and that's out number one here in the second. And Luke Brynjolfsson will be the batter here for Champlin Park.
Came in with the fastball there, and I think the batter was guessing a little bit, thinking it was going to be an off-speed or a curveball on the 1-2 count, and just froze him. Nice pitch.
Slice to third. Ooh, a nice one-hop pickup there, and the throw across is in time. That ball got onto Luke Hansen so quick that he had to wait for Horton to get over to first base. He had able to pick it out clean on that short hop. So a nice play there.
Here we go, 10. Turn it off here.
Yeah, real nice hands.
Pakula stepping in here for Champlin Park, and he hits a dribbler down to short, and it is dropped. Thompson unable to come up with that one, so they make one good solid play defensively there, but then Thompson will be charged with an error on that one. And so Cal Hansen will hit now for Champlin Park.
He just kind of took his eye off the ball there a little bit. Again, it's early in the season, and for some of these guys, those are plays they've made just routine their whole lives, but getting in the varsity game, just a routine one hopper, probably should have had that one, but you put the ball in play in high school and, good things happen.
Trey Carlson, a courtesy runner at first base for the Rebels for the catcher Pakula. So Hansen, the hitter, bounced to short his first time up, another one up the middle, and the play made easily on second there by Thompson, as they will get out of trouble. No runs, no hits. There was one error for the Crimson and one left on base. After an inning and a half here, it is 2-0 Champlin Park.
What makes your community feel like home? Is it knowing what's happening in your neighborhood? Or when people know your name? Connections make us a community. For more than 30 years, Northwest Community Television has connected citizens, neighbors, even sports fans through video. You can learn about the latest news through our truly local newscast. We cover and air around 150 high school sporting events every year. For our cities, we air parades and city meetings that you can watch whenever you want. Then, any citizen of our cities can create and share their own original content. We'll even teach you how to use the equipment too. We have always provided you with a connected community experience, and as life gets busier than ever, we will continue to engage, inform, and inspire through CCX Media, so you can stay connected to the place you call home.
Welcome back here to Maple Grove. Bottom of the second. Maple Grove will have the 4-5-6 hitters up after a 1-2-3 inning pitched by Max Loven of Champlin Park. So Luke Hansen, the third baseman, stepping in here for the Crimson. First pitch taken for a strike. Again, this is game 1 for Maple Grove, game 2 for Champlin Park. The Rebels scratching out a 3-2 win over Minnetonka despite not giving up and getting much going with the bats in that game. They've already kind of changed that early on in this one.
Nice breaking pitch there. Max has got a real nice delivery, real smooth. You can tell he's been coached really well from the time he's been young. Really good balance on the mound.
Little chopper foul at the plate. Oh, and that one hurt. It might have hurt. It looks like it hit the bare hand of Pikula. He is in some pain. The throwing hand might have been out, exposed a little bit, and it appears that's what he's holding, I think.
Yeah, you got to be a tough kid to be a catcher. When you get up to the high school varsity level, that ball's coming in real fast, and yeah, that one, no matter where it hit him, it hurts.
See if we can tell for sure if that's what it got, was the hand, or maybe I'm wrong. Out of pain either way.
That Maple Grove's catcher got hit in the thigh earlier. That won't be the last time today the catcher gets hit. The way he's smiling, I don't think it was his hand that got hit.
No, I think you may be right, and so you're gonna hang in there, and that's the other thing too, is that catching is such a specialized position that you don't generally have more than a couple of them ever on your roster. So it's not as simple a thing to just flip the switch and bring in somebody else. 0-2, and Hansen able to lay off that one. On the flip side of that, though, is if you work at it and become a good catcher, you're probably always going to have a spot on the team.
That's true. Probably the most important position besides pitcher. It's a fun position, too, because you're involved with every play.
Little chop foul here at the plate. And looks like
he took another one.
Yeah, I was going to say, Pikula is really taking a beating back there. He shrugging his head already.
He's not the biggest guy either. A lot of times catchers are a little bit stockier and bigger, but he doesn't have a lot of meat there when he's getting hit. It hurts.
Another 1-2 here from Loven. It's a high chopper, but just foul at the plate.
Kind of hung that curveball there a little bit, but it was so high that he really couldn't get a good swing on it.
You're talking about, getting in the first game here or second game for Champlin Park too. And we haven't, to be honest, we haven't had a ton of really sunny days to just be out here and looking into the sun for some of these guys. I think it's a little bit of an adjustment. This one hit hard, and that one is snagged. A nice play, and winning the race to the bag easily there is Victoria. Boy, that was an all or nothing. He didn't have room or time to do much else but reach for it with that glove, and he was able to come up with it cleanly. And then that's when it's nice to be the first baseman. You got a relatively short trip to the bag to get that out. So Hansen, nothing to show for it, but he hit that ball very nicely. And now Jake Hansen, the DH, will be the batter here for the Crimson.
Yeah, going the opposite way there with 2 strikes. That was smart, and he whacked it pretty hard.
Swing and a miss, and strike 1 to Jake Hansen.
Loven throws pretty hard. He's not the biggest guy out there, and you might not think it's going to come in hard, but it's coming in good velocity.
Hansen squaring the bunt, but fouled it back over the backstop, so an 0-2 count here.
I really like Loven's demeanor. A lot of times pitchers, he hasn't really given the ump a chance to make any calls that are questionable, really, though, because he's really had good control. But you can just tell he's got a demeanor out there that's real calm, and That's going to serve him well.
And fouled away again here by Hansen. Yeah, you notice it when you're the offensive team. If things are bothering the pitcher and he's out there kind of stomping around, and you kind of feed on that and like to get under his skin. And I think it's always a good thing if you can avoid that. Rip and a miss, and Jake Hansen down on strikes. So third strikeout already for Loven, and 2 outs here in the second. And Jerry Gooley will be the batter here for Maple Grove, their right fielder.
I mean, even his delivery and how he reacts there after a strikeout, it's like no big deal. I expected it. And his delivery is not herky-jerky. It's just real smooth.
Cut and a miss there by Gooley. Be interesting to see again, obviously this year at the varsity level, but just in the next couple of years too, because these programs both have, you know, they've got good feeder systems, and their guys are, you know, getting used to having a lot of success. And I was talking with Corey Davis, the Champlin Park coach. He's a Champlin Park grad and has been an assistant, and now 4th year as our head coach. And he said, you know, we really noticed last year at the end of the year just the difference. All the people, the young fans, the you know, extended family coming to the state tournament. Those kind of things really can help your program grow.
No doubt about it. Yeah, the young people see that, how fun it is, and see people coming out to watch, and they want to get just as good as the varsity guys someday.
No swing, they say, on that one. So 2-1.
The other thing is, when you have a program that goes to the state tournament, with a lot of seniors, you've had good players that just didn't get a chance the year before. They have to wait their turn. Both teams, I'm sure, have a lot of players that are looking to make their breakout year this year.
Ooh, and this one gets the umpire. Well, after Pakula gotten pegged a couple times, the umpire taking that one. And Pakula, as is customary, goes out to give the umpire a little time to recover, just like umpires look out for catchers a little bit back there.
Yeah, they're a team back there, and I used to umpire, and even in Little League, and you want your catcher to be stopping those so you're not getting hit. It hurts. You're protected, but there's some spots where the ball can sneak through and get you. Both of them are kind of short guys, the catcher and the umpire there.
That pitch down low, taken for a ball by Gooley. So full count. Martinson waiting on deck here for Maple Grove if Gooley can become the first base runner for the Crimson. Fouling that one straight back. Last year, Champlin Park tied to Tino Grace for the conference championship in the Northwest Suburban, with Maple Grove was 1 game behind them. They came down the last week of the season. So it's a good league in every sport, I guess. And there's a swing and a miss, and the tag applied. Gooley is out, so 2 strikeouts in each of the first 2 innings for Max Loven, and Maple Grove goes down 1-2-3 in the second. No runs, no hits, and no one left after 2 full. It's 2-0 Rebels.
Most of my family, they never graduated high school or even let alone go to college, so I'm trying to break that barrier. Every day after work, went straight to school, studied hard, and it paid off. I could not have done it alone. I see the future is really bright for me. The high school diploma is just added to the confidence, and now I feel unstoppable.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
They said a bottle was just a bottle. That no one would ever notice me. But I knew I could be more. That one day, I would make people smile.
Welcome back here to Maple Grove along with Greg Miller. I'm Jay Wilcox. 3rd inning about to begin here as Champlin Park scored 2 in the first, and they lead Maple Grove 2-0 in a battle of 2 of the better teams around last year in the Northwest Suburban and around the state as well. We had 3 teams from our area, including Wayzata, the state champ, get to the Final 8 in baseball last year, and kind of the same thing in boys basketball this year with 3 of the Final 4 teams, including Champlin Park and Maple Grove, and also Wayzata in the Final 4 and the top class in boys basketball. So it's a lot of fun. We don't take it for granted to have this many good teams around. It's really cool. Zach Loven, the hitter. 1-1 count here, and he lifts this one out to right field, but drifting back and easily playable there for Gooley. So Loven flies to right to begin inning number 3. Third straight inning that Martinson's got the leadoff hitter. He ran into trouble with 2 outs in the first. And here's the guy that got started with the trouble. Cole Albers homered to left field, a solo shot with 2 outs in the first. And then they followed up with a couple of hits after him as well to add that second run. Hits this one hard to second. And Erickson throws him out.
Like
so
to see that.
gone.
Martinson just challenging him right away, not afraid, and threw him the fastball first pitch, trying to get ahead, didn't want to get behind on him, and first pitch swinging, he got him out. It's good pitching.
So here's Quinn Victoria, who had a double out to the fence and right, and came around to score that second run for Champlin Park. So he's 1 for 1. One and 0 count here to Victoria, the first baseman, with Joey Simon waiting on deck for Champlin Park. And you touched on it too, Greg, about how, you had some guys who were pretty good players that didn't get in a lot. And something that I always have to remind myself too is, we talk about so much about new to varsity, but as a coach that, these are guys who have come up through the program. They've maybe been really good players on the 9th grade team or the sophomore team, and regardless of the sport. So that's just all part of it. It doesn't mean they just walked in off the street and hadn't played baseball before.
Yeah, when you have a good program, you're teaching the same things all the way through. Both of these programs have good coaches at all the different levels, and they play baseball the way they want them to play it. So yeah, it's not like they're overwhelmed or anything. It just takes a little while to get used to the speed usually of the pitching and just the game in general, how hard they hit the ball and everything. But yeah, we'll just take a few games for most of them, and then they'll be right into it.
3-2 count here to Victoria.
And they probably, most of these guys go to Florida and places like that for a week to play too. I don't know if these two teams did.
Down the left field line, and that'll be in for extra bases. Second straight double for Victoria. The first one to right field, and this one to left. He's able to get a good piece of that ball on a 3-2 count. And so he will be aboard at second with 2 outs here in the third.
Great start to his season. Pulls one, then he can go opposite way. That's a sign of a really good hitter.
And you see Haugen was played, shading him toward left center a little bit there, and just no chance to get to that ball. So Joey Simon will be the hitter. Takes a first pitch strike. Simon had a single to left that brought Victoria home, and then he advanced to second as it was overrun by the left fielder. Or actually really let it get beneath him, Haugen. And so a single and an RBI for Simon that first time. Nice block there.
Victoria's getting a big lead and getting a big jump when the pitch is made. Anything hit to the outfield, he'll be scoring with 2 outs.
Yeah, and he moved up on a ball that wasn't too far from the plate in the dirt last time that he was on. So
he's got some speed.
Smack down to second. And Erickson will flip to first, and they get out of it. So no harm done after the extra base hit. No runs, 1 hit for the Rebels. No errors and 1 left aboard. We go to the bottom of the third. It remains 2-0 Champlin Park.
I adopted Bento in 2010 from a shelter. As it turns out, we have very similar personalities. And this cat makes me make art because he's always motivating me to take pictures of him, to draw pictures of him. He just is motivating artistically. It's just that simple. Well, he's my best friend, but a lot of people know him as Keyboard Cat.
I see you mobbing over her. Let's go. Let's mob. Let's crawl. Let's crawl. Let's crawl. Hey, yo, we mobbing. Come on, girl. Let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl. Hey, let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl.
Nick Schroeder, the Crimson boys basketball coach. One of those watching here today as we go to the bottom of the third. It'll be the 7, 8, 9 hitters, Martinson, Haugen, and Josh Tyler for Maple Grove. As so far, Max Loven, the junior lefty for Champlin Park, has gone 6 up, 6 down, including 4 of them via strikeout.
Well, Darby Carlson is a basketball coach for Coach Schrader.
Yeah, he had been an official for a while in that sport and then coming back and coaching, and he's been a longtime football coach as well. Great breaking ball there, over for a strike to Martinson, and it's 0-2.
He hasn't thrown many balls today. This guy's really accurate.
And a swing and a miss, and Martinson down on 3 pitches as Loven continues to impress here today, and now Curtis Haugen will be the batter here for Maple Grove.
He's really keeping him guessing, really mixing it up. I mean, that's 2 straight breaking balls right there. Usually he's leading with a fastball, so he's mixing it up.
Checked his swing. It is a called strike there as the first base umpire raising the hand, and I would have to say I agree based on our vantage point. And then late on that fastball, it's 0-2.
He's getting those fastballs up in the zone a little bit. I don't know if that's scouting report or just thinks he can overpower them.
Tried to get him at the knees there. Nice pitch. He put it really right where Pakula wanted it and close, but called the ball 1-2.
And that could have gone either way. That's a 0-2. They probably gave the batter benefit of the doubt there.
And a little dribbler here. Loven off the mound to grab it. Throw to first base in time, and so 2 gone here in the third. And Josh Tyler, the center fielder, will hit for the Crimson.
Yeah, Loven does everything smoothly there. He just casually got off the mound.
Yeah, that's a little bit of a harder play for a lefty than it is a righty on that ball on that third base side.
Just how he moves is just smooth. Good athlete.
Tyler trying to get something started here for the Crimson, but late on that fastball, and it's 0-1.
That's more where he wants that fastball, right at the knees.
That one skipping off Pakula's glove there. Well, and the other thing too, with it being so early, you probably haven't seen, you take an awful lot of BP, but it's not quite the same as facing live pitching out in, a guy out on the mound throwing. You do a lot of different hitting drills, but this is something that you have to get readjusted to, even if you played baseball for a long time.
It is, and just, the fact in baseball, you only get up maybe 2, 3, 4 times in a game. And, the season's so short in Minnesota. You can put pressure on yourself to get off to a good start. You don't want to get in a slump to start the season, and so sometimes you get a lot of, tough stuff going on in your brain where you got to just think positive no matter what's happening. And it's such a small sample size. I know Coach Sobiak at Armstrong talks about, if you get off to a slow start, it's not that big a deal.
Another one to Loven here off the mound, and he makes the play again. So Tyler is out 1-3. The Crimson again go 1-2-3 in the third. No runs, no hits, and no one left. We've played 3 full. It is Champlin Park leading at 2-0.
I rescued Toast from a shelter in 2011. I love Toast because she's a lazy diva. Toast does whatever she wants, obviously. She's sleeping right now. She's an epic snuggler. She's so comforting. She's so loving. Toast makes me laugh. When I walked into the shelter, I knew right then that she was special.
Champlin stepping into the box and takes a first pitch strike here for Champlin Park, as he's obviously done a great job as a pitcher and getting his second at bat here. They've got Max in as he's the pitcher, but he's also listed as the DH, so he can stay in and hit if they end up lifting him off the mound. It's a
interesting combination.
A thing that's changed a couple of years ago that they're able to do. To short. And throw across in time there from Thompson. So Loven out 6-3 to begin the fourth. And obviously that's not terribly unusual in high school ball for your pitcher to be one of your better athletes and be one of your better hitters.
Nice play by the shortstop there. After booting the first one that came to him, he's made 2 nice plays in a row. And then Bubba Horton had a nice stretch there at first.
Ian Coltis, the batter. He struck out his first time up and takes a first pitch fastball for a strike. Martinson settled into mostly a pretty good groove. It's just been the 3-4 hitters. Albers, hitting that homer, and then Victoria a couple doubles. Other than that, he's fared pretty well. To short, this is a tough chance, and they're not going to be able to make a play. You might have jinxed him a little bit there, Greg.
Yeah, he's doing it the way they teach in high school, to get their body in front. And, a lot of times in the major leagues, those guys just pick that one backhanded, but that's not the way we usually teach it in high school.
You have to score it as an error. It was not a very easy play, but I think he still would have to go down as an E there. So Brynjolfsson will be the batter.
Yeah, you really want to attack those and not let him get an extra hop on you. I don't know if it did or not. I couldn't tell, but he's not happy with it.
Fouls it back and out of play. Got a lot of cars here because there's a track meet in the stadium too, so a lot of these foul balls are finding their target back there, I think. Luke bounced to third his first time up on that nice short hop pickup over there by third baseman Hansen. So it goes down as a bounce out, but it really was a hard hit ball and a tough chance that was made by the third baseman. Little tapper foul at the plate here.
It's been a well-pitched game so far, and you expect nothing less from 2 of the best programs in the state. They're usually stockpiling pitchers, even at the lower levels, ready to make their mark when they get their chance.
And Tapper back to the mound to throw to second for one. Relay to first is in time, and they turn it. So Maple Grove getting a twin killing to get out of the fourth inning. No runs, no hits, 1 error, and no one left on base after the double play. So we go to the bottom of the fourth inning with the Rebels still holding that 2-run lead.
Every time I hear the alarm bell go off in school, I think it's an air raid.
A lot of houses in our neighborhood have been destroyed. I like to close my ears and sing songs whenever the bombs come close.
I'm worried our new neighbors won't like us.
But I know it's all gonna be worth it. I just want my family to be safe. But these are not my words.
These are not my words.
These are not my words.
Did you know kids who play outdoors have healthier lungs?
Totally. Did you know that boys that play with dolls make better husbands? My son has lots of dolls.
But did you know terry cloth diapers breathe better?
I did.
It's totally true.
Oh, yeah.
Did you guys know statistically friendly kids have more friends?
Yeah. That's obvious.
Did you know most people think they're using the right car seat for their kid, but they're not?
Parents who really know it all know for sure that their child is in the right seat. Visit safercar.gov/the-right-seat to make sure your child is protected.
We go to the bottom of the fourth inning here. Maple Grove looking for its first base runner, Hayden Thompson, Jensen Erickson, and Charlie Horton, the scheduled batters here for the Crimson, as they try and battle back from an early 2-0 deficit. Hayden Thompson struck out his first time through. Greg, I haven't really talked about it yet, but new pitch count rules going into effect this year, so we'll kind of talk about that a little bit more, and it might become, a little bit of an issue. I think both these teams are pretty cautious with that anyway, but it will be kind of interesting if if Loven continues doing as well as he is, you know, tendency is you wouldn't think that he would go the distance no matter what this early, but if he's efficient enough.
Yeah, it's kind of cool outside though, so I think, you know, they're probably gonna, I guess they'll give him to the 5th inning if he's this efficient, because he's really been hitting the strike zone well, not really having a lot of pitches so far.
Breaking ball hung up a little bit high there. 1-1 count here to Thompson. And that one is down low.
And that's the other thing. If he does start throwing some balls, which he hasn't been at all, that will be a sign to the coach that, okay, it's early in the season, his arm's getting a little tired. They'll be cautious with him.
And this one hit well to left field, and stumbling out there, it's going to be extra bases. As Hansen spun his wheels a little bit, but I don't think he was going to have a play on that one anyway. Hayden Thompson hits Maple Grove's first base runner and does it in style with a well-hit double to left field.
A 2-0 fastball, got behind there, and that was good hitting to be patient. And then he got one he liked and smacked it.
Yeah, you didn't really see it there. Hansen kind of losing his footing a little bit, but I mean, I think he misread the ball, but at the same time, it was going to be over his head anyway.
Yeah, those line drives right at you are difficult to judge. That was hit. That was smoked.
Jensen Erickson, the batter here, see if Maple Grove can capitalize on that leadoff double. And popping one up. It's a tough wind out here. Albers, the shortstop, will go out and make the grab here. So one gone in the 4th, and now Horton will be the batter.
Yeah, at first I thought that might be one of those in-betweeners there, but then the wind kind of held it up, made it an easier play for him, but it was a nice play by the shortstop.
Horton, a strikeout victim his first time up, but
he's a good hitter.
Definitely a guy that I remember, I think it was the last year, we were doing even just some indoor hitting drills, and the ball just jumps off his bat. I mean, it sounded different than a lot of the other guys, and it wasn't even with a baseball. It was one of the hard, spongy balls.
Usually that means you have real strong forearms and you have a quick swing. He's been behind a little bit, though, on the one so far today. He hasn't really timed it.
Chopper fouled on the 3rd base line. Of course, you had a chance to coach against him in the winter season. With basketball's, you know, undoubtedly his 2nd sport, but he's a pretty good ball player in that sport too.
Yeah, he's known as a great shooter. We couldn't leave him alone or he would knock him down, that's for sure.
Behind in the count here, 0-2.
Ooh, nice
and
pitch.
a called 3rd strike at the knees, so Horton strikes out for the 2nd time. Big out there, and boy, you could tell right away that, you know, they've got a 2-run lead, so they were going to go after. They didn't want to put another guy on, even though it's your 3 hitter and a good one. They went aggressive and going to get him.
A little surprising with the guy on first, but that's how confident he is in his stuff.
Luke Hansen, the batter.
I mean, with nobody on first, you know, he could have put him on there and pitched around him and stuff, but yeah, he went right after him.
Hansen hit that ball pretty well. That was snared by the first baseman, Victoria, on one hop last time.
Yeah, he's got that typical baseball body, real strong, compact. A lot of times guys like that like to smack it to right center.
Loven fouling behind in the count here.
It's a quick
and
wrist.
There it is to right center, just on cue. And this one is going to score the first run for Maple Grove. Hansen will hang on at first base with an RBI single as Thompson comes in to score. And Maple Grove cuts the lead in half. Now it's a 2-1 ball game.
Really quick hands on this. On that outside corner pitch, you have to wait just a split second longer, and then you got to have the strength to just swing at the last second and take it the opposite way. It's not easy to do.
So Jake Hansen will be the hitter now, no relation to Luke. Runner at first, 2 gone, and a 2-1 ball game. Fastball over the inner part of the plate there for strike 1.
Haven't heard any complaints from the fans yet with the umps. That's atypical for most of the games I go to. The pitchers are making it easy that way because both of them are very accurate.
Squaring to bunt, drops it down. Pikula up with it, and the throw to first base is in time as the first baseman just able to hang on to the bag there, Victoria. So Hansen trying to surprise him, but he's thrown out 2-3 on the putout. The Crimson do get on the board, though. 1 run, a couple of base hits. No errors in, 1 left on. After 4 full innings, it's now a 2-1 ball game.
Your daughter just had her first breakup. Do you A, put yourself in her shoes? B, console her?
Don't worry, sweetie. This is gonna happen a lot.
Or C, find her a new boyfriend?
Nice, single boys. That was weird.
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
Champlin Park still leading, but now a 2-1 game as Pikula steps in. It'll be the 9-1 and 2 spots here for the Rebels against Nate Martinson. And first pitch, pop foul back over the Champlin Park dugout.
It'll be interesting to see how long these pitchers will last. They're both very efficient so far, but it is early in the season. We'll see if this is their last inning, be in the 5th inning, 7-inning game.
Breaking ball getting away there. Yeah, Coach Carlson said, you know, obviously it depends on how the game goes, but he was looking at hopefully getting 4 out of Martinson, so he must like what he sees as he's got him back out there for the 5th. Pop back foul, and this one will get out of play.
You ever been almost hit by one of those?
Yes.
We can't see up in the sun, so I can't protect you, Jay.
Yeah, and when you hear a heads up, you don't know if it's like right at you or 100 feet away from you either.
It should be heads down.
Yeah.
Heads up, you catch one in the nose.
Get under the table if needed, I guess, here. And this one lifted down the left field line, long run. And that one will get out of play as well.
Well,
not quite out of play, but out of reach anyway.
I know one thing that the batters try to do in all levels of baseball, it's a big thing now, is just to work that pitch count for the pitcher, and that's a big thing at Armstrong. And I know Coach Sobiak's had a great run over there at Armstrong. I talked to him a lot about baseball, and the big thing is trying to take pitches and foul pitches off and just get the pitcher to where he's tired and maybe starts making a few mistakes, or you get a new pitcher in that you can hit better. Tomahawk that one.
Able to drive it into left field for a base hit. So Pikula getting a leadoff single here in the 5th, and more than likely they'll run for him again, and looks like it will be Trey Carlson coming out as the courtesy runner. That pitch was up, but he turned on it and able to flick the wrists and drive it into left.
Yeah, that can be a little fool's gold for a batter, because you typically swing at those and you swing and miss, but he timed it up.
So top of the order here, leadoff man aboard, and you're up by a run here in the 5th. See if Champlin Park might have something going here with a bunt. And he offered at it, and then the throw back to first, not in time. Not a very good looking bunt attempt there by Hansen.
Now they almost picked the guy off first with that. You got to get some kind of a jump at first base, or they can throw you out at second. So sacrifice bunt, you got to get it down. But you see in the major leagues all the time, they struggle with it.
Hansen is grounded to short and popped to short in his first 2 at bats, so 0 for 2. Is squaring again. This time puts down a beauty. Throw to first is in time, and he gets the job done, though, and moves Trey Carlson to second. So sacrifice 5-3 there. Hansen, maybe he was kind of playing a possum with that first attempt. Then dropped down a beauty there. Pretty good play here, too, on the run by, Luke Hansen. There isn't much margin for error at that point. If he doesn't field that cleanly, he's not going to get him.
That was a great bunt. He really hustled down the line. Like to see the players hustle.
Zach Loven, the hitter. Fouls that one straight back. Yeah, it always bugs me. I mean, really at any level, but high school or whatever, when you're only going to get up probably 3 times in a game, maybe 4, how you can possibly kind of just jog when you hit the ball. I don't understand.
That's true.
I mean, I know you're frustrated sometimes. Hit pretty well, but right at the center fielder. And no chance to advance here either, as Tyler had that ball right at him. Loven stung it pretty good, but...
Well, Martinson's getting the ball up in the zone here. I'd be a little concerned if I were Darby. I'm sure he is. That ball was hit really hard.
And here's Cole Albers, who homered his first time up. 2 outs now and a runner at second. Champlin Park trying to increase this 2-1 lead, and the Martinson trying to get out of the inning. Fastball over for a strike.
He humped up on that one. You got to bring a little bit extra when you're going against this guy. He's going right at him again. You know, first base is open. I think he might be trying to be a little bit careful with him, but it doesn't look that way.
Well, and you keep in mind the guy right after him, though, has 2 doubles, so down to third, booted a little bit, throw to first base is still in time. Good recovery made there by Hansen for Maple Grove. So Champlin Park done in the 5th despite the leadoff single. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left aboard. We'll head to the bottom of the 5th here on CCX Sports. Champlin Park leading Maple Grove 2-1.
This is the moment I knew. His future had no boundaries.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org.
Oh, look, a redhead.
Staring contest.
You still got it.
I know.
Come alive with the forest.
The dad was cute.
They were looking right at us.
Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
I want to eat apples and bananas. I need to eat apples and bananas. Why can't I eat?
1 in 5 children struggles with hunger in America. Support the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks to help provide meals to those in need. Join us at feedingamerica.org.
Jerry Gooley takes the first pitch low for a ball here. Max Loven still on the mound here to begin the 5th for Champlin Park. He was sailing along. He had a perfect game through 3 and gave up a leadoff double to Hayden Thompson in the 4th, and Luke Hansen drove him in with a single. So it's still a 2-1 lead as Loven works to Gooley here, who struck out his first time up. There's a strike. And part of becoming a good pitcher too, Greg, is learning to deal with a little adversity. These guys, you have to sometimes realize that there's pretty good hitters on that other team. Once in a while, they're going to hit you a little bit, and you can't really let it panic you or bring you down.
I mean, being a pitcher, if you got the stuff, the biggest part of it is mental. I mean, you got to have location, obviously, but if you get yourself rattled, it's hard to, get your good location.
Will pop up, might be playable.
Oh,
good effort.
Great try.
Sliding into the fence there was Pakula. Not quite able to come up with it.
Yeah, Fearless just diving into that fence like that too. Yeah, it's kind of...
He saw it pretty well, but he knew the fence was there and made the right play, but just couldn't quite come up with it. just inside with that one.
Good take by Gooley there. Gooley comes from a family from Robbinsdale. A lot of uncles that are sports fanatics. Uncle Pat was a good friend of mine.
And a rip and a miss here. So first out in the 5th inning is a nice bounce back by Loven to get the strikeout. And now going to see a pinch hitter, looks like, here for Maple Grove.
Looks like a young fella.
Zach Friedman will be the batter. So he reports into the umpire. Fouls the first pitch back. Martinson struck out his first at bat. So Friedman hitting for him here in the 7th spot. And that would likely indicate, as we expected, that Martinson will not be the pitcher when we resume in the top of the 6th as well. Cut and a miss, and down on strikes goes Friedman. So Loven showing that he's not out of gas here, as he gave up that run in the 4th, but he strikes out the first 2 hitters here in the 5th, and Curtis Haugen will be the batter.
Yeah, throwing strikes like he is and his efficient arm movement, it really, you can tell he doesn't get tired very easily.
This one hit to the left side. Albert is going to be a tough chance. Throw on the run, and he got him. Fantastic play by Cole Albers. I was thinking infield hit all the way there, but instead they get the out. Maple Grove done in the 5th. No runs, no hits, and no one left. We go to inning number 6. Still a 1-run lead here for Champlin Park.
To eat apples and bananas. I need to eat apples and bananas. Why can't I eat?
1 in 5 children struggles with hunger in America. Support the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks to help provide meals to those in need. Join us at feedingamerica.org.
Welcome back here to Maple Grove. It is Gooley who will move over to the mound here for the Crimson. He did pitch 5 innings a year ago for Maple Grove. All of them in relief. Gave up.
That was as a sophomore, right?
Yeah. 5 walks, 3 Ks, so limited amount of varsity, but it is not his debut. Here's Quinn Victoria, the batter now for Champlin Park to lead off the 6th, and he's done all right for himself. 2 doubles, 1 to right, 1 to left.
Yeah, now he's got to face a lefty, though. That'll be a little bit more challenging for him. It was a nice first pitch by Gooley. Kept the ball down.
Knocks it to first and right down the line, and Horton will come up with it for the first out of the 6th. And Joey Simon will be the batter for Champlin Park.
This has been a real clean game. You know, there's been a couple errors, but then right after that there'd be either a double play or they would just make another out, and the game just keeps moving along.
Simon 1 for 2 today. Knocked in a run in the 1st.
A lot of speed pitch there by Gooley. 2-1 count now. I got a hitter's count.
Misses up high and away with that fastball. So 3 balls and a strike. That one is over for strike 2. Full count now to Simon.
That was the one where the hitter's like, man, I wish I would have swung at that one. It was a good velocity ball, though. It might not have been easy to hit, but that's one you got to swing at.
Chopper to second, and actually Horton, the first baseman, will pick it up and flips to Gooley, and they get the out. So 2 gone.
That's not an easy play right there. Pitcher had to hustle over, and you know that they got him by a step. That was good, you know, thing that they work on all the time in the preseason.
Yeah, from our vantage point, I thought the second baseman was going to be playing this one, and then Horton ranging over and snares it. So Loven will be the batter here for Champlin Park, and he takes a strike.
Starts him off with a off-speed pitch, so crafty lefty here.
0-1 count to Loven, so they like him as a hitter too. I don't think this necessarily means anything in terms of whether he'll be back out to pitch again. Another one to Horton. He's going to take this one himself, so he makes all 3 plays here in the 6th inning. No runs, no hits, and no one left for the Rebels. We go to the bottom of 6. It's 2-1 Champlin Park. Couple more at bats for Maple Grove. They trail it 2-1 here. We go to the bottom of the 6th. The 9-1-2 hitters coming up for the Crimson. So Josh Tyler, the center fielder, will lead it off. He hit a little tapper comebacker to the pitcher Loven the first time up, so he's 0 for 1. Loven is still on the mound to begin inning number 6. As Greg said, he has not thrown a lot of pitches, so they are sticking with him. And this one is smacked out to right. Could be a play at first. Here's the throw, and they got him. You do not see that very often in baseball. A 9-3 putout, and Tyler kind of a victim almost of hitting that ball too hard right at the right fielder. And Coltis comes up throwing. This is relatively common in fast pitch softball, but in baseball you don't see it all that much. But you see how shallow they're playing, and the throw just in time. So Hayden Thompson is the batter. He had a double to lead off the 4th and came in to score the only Crimson run.
A smart defensive positioning too. The wind's blowing in, and they're you know, daring them to hit it over their head.
Yeah, and they had a, you know, they got an out early in the game on a ball that was hit, you know, would in many situations would have been a base hit that Coltis was playing in tight for and made a catch on too, and then that one getting the out at first. Just missed with that breaking ball. Thompson struck out his first time, so 1 for 2, but that one was obviously a big one. 2-1 count here. Lifts another one out, foul and out of play, so 2-2.
You know, overall, there's been really good defense in this game too. These teams both make it look really easy, and it's not easy. You know, I know you've announced many games where the balls are getting booted all over, and especially the throwing part of the game where people are inaccurate and games drag on, but this has been a real good defensive game. Just a couple errors.
Loven bounces that one in. 3-2.
Stuck on his fingers there a little bit. Got a good chuckle out of that one.
Ooh, and he watched a close one. Thompson works out a walk. So good at bat there for Hayden Thompson.
First walk of the game for either team, I think.
Yeah, I believe you're right. That is correct. So Jensen Erickson will be the hitter. He had a fly to right and then a pop out to the shortstop in shallow left field. He's 0 for 2, but good opportunity here for Maple Grove. 1 on, 1 out, trailing by a run. Ball taken away.
I would think the Rebels have someone warming up in the bullpen we can't see from here, but I would imagine that's the case. Even just coming out to start the inning. Takes a while to get warm when it's 50 degrees out.
Runner is going, a little hit and run, and it will be dropped into center field for a base hit. So runners at first and second now for Maple Grove.
That might be all, or else they're just going to make a trip to the mound here to give the reliever some time and settle him down a little bit. It doesn't really need to be settled down, I don't think. I think this is more either they're going to make the change or they're going to get someone warming up.
Another look as Erickson dropping one into short center with a hit and run on.
Really nice swing, compact, quick wrist. Now, that's a big change that happened in hitting quite a while ago, but where they just really teach people to not stride very much and just really keep their wrists in tight and flick, just snap their wrist quick.
Looks like they're going to stick with Loven. Horton will be the batter. 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts, but let's not forget what he has been capable of doing with the bat in his career.
Yeah, he didn't like striking out 2 times. I would think a player of his caliber is going to really focus on this at bat. This should be a fun at bat.
Bluff to second. So tying run at second base. Go ahead run at first here for Maple Grove as they try and rally late here against the Rebels. Swing and a miss. Went off speed with him. And then comes with a high and away fastball that he swings and misses at. So you maybe talked about, trying to get too hyped up a little bit up there, and that might be the case right now with Horton.
Well, that was good pitching too. Low and inside curveball and then a high and outside fastball.
Gets a piece of that one to stay alive.
I'm guessing the curveball in the dirt on this pitch. See if Bubba can lay off of it, if that's the case. Oh, brought the fastball.
Fastball, and a little foul tip, and he hangs onto it, and Horton 0 for 3 with 3 Ks, and now Luke Hansen will be the batter for Maple Grove. That is out number 2, so Loven perhaps one good pitch from getting out of this inning.
Yeah, but this is a tough matchup for him right here too.
Taken in the dirt for ball 1. Hansen had an RBI single, hit the ball well in the 4th after grounding out to the first baseman his first time up. So 1 for 2.
Pakula made a nice stop there. He's a good catcher.
Fastball missing high and away. That one is over for a strike, 2-1.
Yeah, it's deceptively fast. That ball comes in there with a lot of steam.
And foul ball there, so 2-2 now. Key at bat in this ball game, boy. You get him, you're out of trouble if you get him out, but if Hansen delivers a base hit, we're very likely to be tied.
Yeah, this is going to be a big pitch here. Got to be looking curveball, but then he sneaks the fastball by you when you do that.
puts the ball in play, but should be not too tough a chance, and they get the out at first base. So Hansen out 4-3, and Loven and the Rebels escape a jam. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and they leave 2. We go to inning 7 here on CCX, 2-1 Champlin Park.
Hey, did you know 2.4 million loving cats and dogs in shelters and rescues need our help to find a home? Let's go to the shelterpetproject.org and meet if you are in a shelter near you. Harlow, oh, she's one great listener who loves to hear all your stories. My kind of cat. Cerulo is a sweet, goofy boy who's eager to please. Sounds just like another dog I know. So go to the shelterpetproject.org, search your local shelters and rescues, and go for a cuddle with your next best friend. Adopt.
Start a story. Adopt at theshelterpetproject.org.
We go to inning number 7 here at Maple Grove, the bottom third of the order coming up for Champlin Park. Coltis, Brynjolfsson, and Pakula, the scheduled hitters against Gooley, the second pitcher of the game for Maple Grove. He worked a 1-2-3 sixth after coming on in relief of Martinson. Coltis struck out his first time, reached on an error in the 4th. Takes a strike here, and it's 0-2.
2 good pitches to start the inning. Nice heater and then nice tight curveball there.
Misses away with the fastball. Gooley, you just want to hold things where they are and give your team one more good chance in the bottom of the 7th. And a called third strike at the knees. Coltis hoping it was going to be ruled a little low, but instead they ring him up. So 1 out. And Brynjolfsson will be the batter.
Nice pitch. A little low, but it was right there on the knees. And you got 2 strikes, you got to swing at that.
Taken for a ball. Brynjolfsson 0 for 2, bouncer to third, and then hit into that comebacker double play. Big outs in the 4th inning for Maple Grove to get after the error had put Coltis on base. Down to short. Throw across is in time, so Brynjolfsson is out. 2 gone here, and Pakula will be the batter for the Rebels.
Nice to have that big target at first base. That ball sailed on the shortstop a little bit, but no problem for Bubba there. He's got long arms and he's tall.
Yeah, you see Thompson coming up throwing. He was a little under that ball, it felt like, when he let it go. It looked like it might even be higher than it turned out to be when he first let it go. Pakula's been on twice, reached on an error in the 2nd and singled in the 5th. Besides doing, as Greg said, a nice job behind the plate. You always kind of view offense as a little bit of an added bonus from the catcher because you've got so much else to worry about too.
And evidently he's calling a real good game too. You know, mixing up the pitch as well. Calling the game from behind. You know, some of the high school coaches call a lot of the pitches. Some call a few. I'm not exactly sure what's going on here, but I haven't really seen the catchers looking in the dugout much. So I think the catchers are calling the game.
Lifted out to short left, but it's going to hold up and be playable there for Haugen. And so Gooley does his job, works a 1-2-3 7th. We go to the bottom half of the 7th. One more chance here for the Crimson. They trail it 2-1 here on CCX Sports.
Well, Thomas, you've got pre-diabetes. But with more exercise and a change in diet, it can be reversed.
I've tried exercising. It just makes me hungry for bacon.
I love bacon, too. And who really likes to exercise?
Not me.
Me neither.
Nobody. So we're good?
What? Oh, you still have pre-diabetes. Big time.
We head to the bottom of the 7th, and Maple Grove will have their 5, 6, 7 hitters coming up. Jake Hansen will step in, and Max Loven, the junior lefty, is still on the mound for Champlin Park. He's been efficient, hadn't thrown, a ton of pitches, and Coach Davis and staff going to stick with him. And, I don't mind that. I mean, I think so many times people have just become programmed to think, well, you have to take him out after, X amount of innings or whatever, or X amount of pitches. And obviously we do have the new pitch count rules in, and I don't believe he must be near that. He's got 105 is the maximum that he can throw in one day.
I'm guessing he's around 70 probably, or something like that, maybe even a little bit less. Yeah, I agree with you. I think that sometimes, we err on the side of caution, which is good, but these guys this guy especially, the way he throws, you can tell he's not putting a lot of stress on his arm.
Pitch just misses there.
He did walk a batter last inning, which is the first of the game, and I would think if he walks another one, that might be it for him, but I was wrong last time. I thought that was going to happen too.
Jake Hansen, I'm going to guess, may have missed a sign there, as he's called down by Coach Carlson to talk about it here. 1 ball, 1 strike to the leadoff man in the 7th for Maple Grove. Hansen a strikeout, and then tried to bunt his way on last time, lifting it out to right field. It's going to hang up and be playable there, and the catch made by Coltis. 1 gone here in the 7th. And Gooley will be the hitter for Maple Grove. He has struck out twice against Loven. Back up the middle, and Alber's not able to track it down. He gets his glove on it, knocks it down, but it'll be a base hit for Gooley. So a 1-out base runner here for the Crimson in the 7th as they try and stay alive. Another look, it gets back, and reaching for it there was Loven, and Alber's able to get the tip of the glove on it, but by that point, not very likely they were going to get it out anyway, so it's an infield hit. And Friedman will be the batter. No, he won't. He batted last time, but he was out there in the on-deck circle, but he is going to be hit for here. Looks like it'll be Caleb Gates batting. Puts the bunt down. Loven not able to come up with it, and everyone's safe. Gooley down to second. Gates aboard on the error.
And this is something you don't see in the major leagues very much, but in high school, that you get the ball down and you just want to see if maybe they'll make a mistake, and that's what happened.
Yeah, they wanted to get that guy to second no matter what, but and then you take it as a bonus to have the hitter be safe there as well.
There's 1 out, and that's why I guess I'm saying that about it. In the major leagues, they're not going to do that with 1 out and sacrifice bunt. But in high school, you do, yeah. Then you just, hope that your next guys up can get the guy in and tie the game up.
Maple Grove has been, under Darby Carlson, longtime practitioner of putting some pressure on the defense by by bunting, making things happen, making them make a play, and that time Loven was unable to do it. So first and second, 1 out, Curtis Haugen the batter.
Yeah, I know they've had a lot of success with that small ball. Sobiek's told me that about them and said you got to really be prepared to have the bunt happen at any time.
There's a strike. The other thing is you really get the defense having to be in motion and to be, you know, maybe a little uncomfortable not being where they're accustomed to playing, and that can really throw some things off too. In the dirt, and blocked enough there by Pakula to hold the runners where they are, and that's pretty big. You didn't want to let them move up.
Yeah, he really is quick. He shuffled his feet there properly and let his chest pad do the work there.
That one is over the inside corner for strike 2, 1-2. So presumably takes away the threat of a bunt.
I didn't see the strike sign. I thought he called that inside at first, but
it was a little delayed. And a rip and a miss. Haugen got a little piece of it, but he is down on strikes for out number 2. So that second strike call becomes pretty big right there. The 2 gone, and Josh Tyler will be the hitter for Maple Grove.
yeah, Loven's done that a lot today. He's changed the plane and raised the ball up there, trying to get to strike 3 and get guys swing at that high fastball, and they haven't got around on it today.
Strike, they're going to throw down to first and not in time.
It's a lot of confidence right there.
Yeah, a little too much for my liking. I guess if you get the last out right there, but if you allow the tying run to score, I think I'd head for the car.
Yeah.
Without even coming back to the bench. Pitch up high there on the breaking ball.
Yeah, he did a good job of Pakula framing that pitch, but that pitch was definitely up high when it crossed the plate, curveball.
And that one misses inside. So a 2-1 count here.
All he needs is a little hit to right field, tie the game.
And there's the strike, so 2-2.
That's a pitch he wanted right there, right down the middle. Froze him a little bit.
Loven trying to nail it down. Tyler trying to bring in the tying run, and he fights this one off.
Yeah, look almost like a cutter there. The ball moved, but it was a little bit faster than his curveball, it seemed like.
The 2-2 pitch, and fights off that high fastball. It was up around the shoulders, but he wasn't taking any chances.
Yeah, when you're the batter and you can make the last out of the game, that's never any fun. Done that plenty when I played, and he's trying to avoid that at all costs, and if he does, he might tie the game up.
Down to short. Albers, tough chance, not going to be able to make the play. And then a race for the bag at third and runner back in as Cooley took a little bit of a wide turn there.
Amazing. You put the ball in play in high school, and for the offense, oftentimes good things happen. It looked like the game was going to be over right there, and they gave him new life.
What do you think, Greg? Infield hit, or is that an error?
That's an error, I think.
Albers, and then, boy, he almost made up for it by getting back to the bag before Gooley, who
yeah, on the replay, you can see he had the ball in his glove, actually, and was just kind of got a little nonchalant when he went to take the ball out of his glove, and it just popped up.
Looks like we are going to perhaps see a pitching change here.
Almost looks like Albers might be going in. He just pitched the other day, but he could come in and pitch a little bit.
So the bases will be loaded up with 2 outs here for Maple Grove. Tying run at third, winning run at second.
Yeah, baseball's an amazing game, man. You got to play till the last out, last strike.
Yeah, we are going to see a pitching change, but it'll not be Albers. It'll be Brady Higgins, who closed out the win over Minnetonka the other day.
Oh, so they got a closer. All right.
Higgins, the sophomore, going to be asked to come in a tough spot again here. We'll take a quick break while he warms up. Bases loaded, 2 outs, bottom of the 7th. We'll be right back to Maple Grove.
Maybe he's really focused.
Hey, Michael. Michael. Maybe he likes spinning the wheels.
Maybe he just loves trucks.
Maybe he's just being a boy.
Preoccupation with objects is one early sign of autism. Learn the others today. The sooner it's diagnosed, the better.
So Higgins will come in here for Champlin Park to try and close it out after Albers are not quite able to come up with that chance there at shortstop.
And it all started with a 1-out bunt and error on that play, and then another error. And Loven pitched a heck of a game there. So he can control the whole way. But yeah, get the ball in play. That's the Darby Carlson way and Maple Grove way, and see if the other team will make some mistakes. And if they do, they capitalize usually.
Well, and the tough thing too is, you know, coming into the pitcher here, obviously you don't have a lot of margin for error. I mean, if you're not throwing strikes right away, the tying run comes in.
Yeah, you saw the Twins game maybe last week where the White Sox had 11 walks, or not the White Sox, it was the first team we played, but anyway.
Royals, yeah.
The Royals, yeah, and they walked in like 2 runs in one game when I was watching. So it can even happen at that level, and it's a lot of pressure on that guy coming in. And you get behind and you groove one, and they win the game here with the hit.
Hayden Thompson is the batter here, the top of the order now for Maple Grove. Hayden has had a strikeout, a double, and a walk. So Higgins, the sophomore, trying to see if he can't finish it off like he was able to do against Minnetonka, and he was facing the heart of their order in that game. So they were happy with what they saw from him Saturday, but it's a new day today. Rip and a miss. He came right after him with a fastball, and Thompson did not opt to take a pitch. He swung from the heels on that first one.
Yeah, that was a good heater there.
And fouls this one away, so 0-2. And obviously, like we talked about, you know, there's pressure on the pitcher here, certainly, but also on the hitter.
No doubt. And I think with the heat he's bringing, you got to look to put that the opposite way and just get that ball between the first and second baseman, and that might win the game. Although they play so shallow, there'd probably be a play at the plate, the winning run.
0-2 pitch, swing and a miss, and Higgins comes in and gets the job done as he'll get the save with a strikeout of Hayden Thompson. So Champlin Park getting a couple of runs in the first inning, and that is enough to win it. For Maple Grove in the 7th, no runs, 1 hit. There were a couple of errors, and they strand 3. So a 2-1 victory for Champlin Park in the conference opener for both of these teams. We will be back to wrap things up here from Maple Grove in just a moment on CCX Sports.
Hart, what's going on?
I'm leaving.
Why? What did I do?
Not enough. You constantly ignore me. You barely eat anything healthy. You're half as active as you used to be. The pressure is just too much. I quit.
Okay, I get it. I'll do better. Just please, don't leave.
Okay. But remember, if I go, you go.
Listen to your heart. Don't let it quit on you. Uncontrolled high blood pressure could lead to stroke, heart attack, or death. Get yours to a healthy range before it's too late.
Welcome back here to Maple Grove. A great start to the season for Champlin Park after beating Minnetonka Saturday. They get a 2-1 win over Maple Grove, and we'll start with Cole Albers, who helped get the offense started with that home run. How'd that feel in that first inning to unload on one?
It felt good. Believe it or not, we won our first game getting no hits, so I knew I had to get my barrel on the ball, just try to put a ball in play, hit it hard, and just happen to leave the park.
It is obviously real early in the season, but this is two good teams from a year ago, 2 state tournament teams, 2 teams that were fighting for the conference title. How big of a win is it to come over on the road and get a win against Maple Grove?
It's huge for us. Last year they were one of the 2 teams to beat us. They came on our field last year and beat us, so coming back this year and beating them is a good feeling to start the season.
Obviously, you have a lot of new guys in your lineup this year, but are you pretty happy with the way that they performed so far?
Oh, yeah, it's been great. Max coming in his first varsity start and shoving, going mostly the distance, and then Brady, the sophomore, coming in. He's got 2 saves already this season, 1, 2, 3. So it's big. The younger kids are stepping up, and we're winning some games.
Cool. Congratulations on the win. Have fun the rest of the season.
Thank
here.
you.
And Quinn Victoria coming up with a couple of doubles, 1 to right field, 1 to left field. How do you feel up at the plate here today?
Well, I was just trying to keep it simple. I've been slumping lately, but just clear the mind, keep it simple, and just take what they give you,
Even though it is, still the beginning of the season here, these are generally 2 pretty good teams. Is it a nice feeling to get a win on their field like this?
Oh, yeah, it's nice to come here and steal one from them. It's nice to start the season 2-0, and we're just going to hope to keep rolling.
Got a lot of new faces in the lineup, but I know you guys have kind of become accustomed to success on the way up. Does that help a little bit to just, sort of build on what the team did a year ago too?
Oh, yeah. I don't feel like we're in the shadow at all, but we're just making our own path right now.
Did you get a little nervous there in the bottom of the 7th at all?
Not really. I had faith in my boy Max and my boy Brady, and we were lucky to pull it out.
Congratulations. Nice job here, and have fun the rest of the way.
Thank you.
And great performance on the mound. Max Loven coming through with a nice start here. How much fun was it for you out there today?
It was fun. With it being my first varsity start and all, I just knew I had to do what I did before. I mean, these guys are obviously better at the varsity level, but I knew if I just came out and did what I knew I could do, I could get the job done.
You got a few nice defensive plays behind you too. Thinking of the one that you got from your shortstop Cole, and also throwing a guy out from right field. Talk about a little bit about how those guys helped you today.
Well, it's nice to know that you can let the hitters put the bat on the ball, and your defense will make the plays. We got a solid defense, and that's what we kind of build the team around.
For having a brand new team like you do, to play Minnetonka and then Maple Grove right away, pretty good opponents, and to be 2-0, how exciting is that?
Oh, it's exciting. I don't think a lot of people thought we were going to be as good as last year because we lost a bunch of seniors. But, I mean, we believe in ourselves, and it feels good to go out and prove it.
Max, nice performance here, and have fun the rest of the way. It's going to be fun to watch the Rebels again, it looks like.
Thanks.
All right, Max Loven, the starting pitcher, winning pitcher as he goes 6 2/3 here for Champlin Park. They hang on to beat Maple Grove 2-1 in a great pitcher's duel here at Maple Grove. Hope you've enjoyed today's game. For Greg Miller and all of our crew, I'm Jay Wilcox. Again, your final, Champlin Park 2, Maple Grove 1.